Oh, how's it going?
I'm doing great, JT. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing awesome. Super excited for this interview, this conversation. We've been talking about it for quite a bit now. I know we tried this a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago, and it didn't work for us. But I'm super excited to have you on the interview. Wanted to share your experience on Empty Your Bucket with everyone out there, and I think it's just such an amazing story. But let's start off, Michael, with tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to know about Empty Your Bucket.
Well, I have a couple of buddies here that I bowl with, and they've been kind of egging me on, trying to get me to join this program for probably about 6 or 8 months before I started this process.
Okay.
Started on August 7th of last year.
August.
It'll be coming up to 8 months this Saturday. And
8 months.
8 months.
So tell us before we even get into numbers and all that stuff, which I'm super excited to hear. What was your lifestyle prior to? So, when 8 months ago, when Steve and Jason approached you about joining Empty Your Bucket, what were your eating habits like? What were your thoughts? Let's go one question at a time. What were your eating habits like at the time?
Horrible. Let's just say fast food was my necessity a lot of times because I am always on the go. And,
Yep.
even though I would sit there at a fast food restaurant, McDonald's or whatever, I'll be sitting there, I'm going to get this because it's not a lot of calories.
Mm-hmm.
But what they don't educate you is all the other stuff that goes with it, this whole process, Empty Your Bucket, has been an eye-opener and game changer for me because it opened up my thought process of how I see food and eat food.
Sure.
What you have done is I would eat like double cheeseburgers to, 2 or 3 of them, sometime. It was really, really bad. I started last year. I was at 43 years old.
Okay, 43. And how tall are you, Michael?
6'3.5".
Okay, so you're big dude already.
Held weight very, very well. I have a lot of friends in the past that say, you carry 350 very, very well. I'm like, yeah, I appreciate that. It's not what you want to hear.
Right.
It was really, really, it was hard for me to wrap around this process because, I tried diets in the past. And,
Okay.
I would do it for a couple months and I was like, you know what? It's not for me. It's not working out, whatever the case is. We all have been on that road. It's
Right.
hard, but then again, we live in a society where we're always on the go.
Sure.
Moving and always doing a lot of things. So Steve and Jason sat me down and they just literally said, listen, you need to change your life, man. I mean, I have a couple of friends that passed away from heart conditions and stuff like that the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided, I have to do this. I have a 9-year-old beautiful daughter, my wife, loving family, great support system.
Yep.
Just never try to, actually lose the weight. So in this case here, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm curious to know, 8 months ago, what were you weighing? Now you're 6'3". What were you weighing?
344.
What was it?
344 pounds.
344 pounds. Okay. And today is April 5th. What are you weighing today?
I am at 227.8.
Oh my God. So that's basically 116 pounds?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yep.
That is amazing. I think my wife weighs 116 pounds. You lost the whole person.
I know, it's amazing. It's hard to really think about what I've done over this time. But the way I looked at it and the way I approached this was to break it down in sections. The first thing was when Steve and Jason, kind of said, "Listen, you got to do this."
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna try 90 days. 90 days is nothing.
Right.
Just try to do that first.
Sure. So you've lost 116 pounds, and you mentioned earlier in this conversation, you mentioned that you had been on other diets. What do you think was different this time? What made the difference between those other diets and Empty Your Bucket?
Empty Your Bucket was kind of giving me a guideline of what I can or cannot eat.
Okay.
It was, for me, it was a little easier. Protein is, great for me. Here's the funniest part, I would say the shocking part is,
Yeah.
I don't eat any veggies at all. None. I'm trying really hard to get some in my system because I have to.
Sure.
Really good for you, fiber, everything. So my wife and I were trying different things, different ways of cooking.
Mhm.
Before, I wouldn't even cook that much. I would just pick up something, whatever. The great thing about this whole process, Empty Your Bucket, is actually teaching how to cook properly.
Right.
Educating yourself throughout the whole process.
Right. So let's see. So 116 pounds, 8 months. How do you so it was different from every other diet you had done. It sounds like Empty Your Bucket is not as restrictive as those other diets. One of the things that was interesting a couple of weeks ago when we met in person for the first time, which I know this is it's crazy because I didn't even facilitate your program. Basically, Jason and Steve gave you all the principles, and that's what's mind-boggling is the fact that you didn't have me coaching you or anything. I actually took those guys through Empty Your Bucket, and they gave you the basic principles, and you've been able to lose 116 pounds, which is pretty amazing. What was it? Because give me an example. What were you on before? Like, what diets had you tried before?
I tried Atkins before, Weight Watchers with my wife and stuff like that.
Okay, let me stop you there really quick. What did you not like about the Atkins?
Well, it's just a combination of the shakes and there's a lot of different things about it. To me, it was just the point system and vice versa. It just I honestly I think it might have been I wasn't at that stage in my life where I was ready to fully 100% commit myself. I think that was the thing that this time around I was like, you know what, I have a great support system with Steve and Jason and also yourself. Helping me out on Facebook and chatting and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think that was the key for me to really turn the corner on this journey that I went on.
So the accountability, having those buddies there beside you, pushing you, but they said something that got under your skin. What was that one thing that they said to you that you were like, "Ugh, I'm gonna do this"?
Well, I needed to be there for my daughter mainly. They just said, you have no excuse. My wife and my daughter went on a cruise, and literally they're like, "You got to do this now. You got to do this." And these guys they get under my skin a lot, but at the same time, it's great because I need that extra push a lot of times.
Sure.
There are times I remember the first workout that I did with weights. During this whole process, the first 3 months I didn't even touch the weight. And thanks to you, I lost a lot of just doing cardio. But there were days I was like, I wanted to kill them because, just you kept pushing yourself to the next level and, going beyond what you went through. And I think that's the only thing that really will help anyone during the process is, you got to keep one step in front of the other. You got to keep going.
Right. So, Michael, I hear you saying, you had the accountability, you had, your wife and your daughter there. It's interesting because I often say, and I say this when I'm onboarding Empty Your Bucket clients, I say, look, if your goal, if your motivation, if your encouragement is an aesthetic destination, then you can forget about it because that's not going to take you a long way. But what it sounds like for you, it was you had that deep why, which was being around for your daughter, being around for your wife, and having the great accountability system. One of the things you mentioned that was really interesting and brought tears to my eyes was the story. Tell us that story about when you carried your daughter up the stairs for the first time. That was it was I would say probably about maybe 5 months. I was 5 months pregnant. And I remember the first workout that I did with weights. My wife and I were trying different things.
5 months into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we live in a 2-story apartment or a 3-story apartment. I live on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of times in the past I would just walk up the stairs and I would have to literally stop to catch a breath before I even get into the front door.
Right.
Now I run up and down the stairs without a problem. The main thing for me was just when I put her on my shoulders, literally carrying her up there, I could feel all that weight of what I was carrying before. It was crazy. And to think about this whole process of what what I've accomplished and you've, given me is amazing. So it was a little tiring when I got up there, and I was just like, but at the same time, I felt really good because what I had done so far, it was amazing what we, accomplished on that.
Sure. Also interesting, one of the things I mention often to people, and it's funny because when I'm doing an orientation, most people ask me, well, what about workouts? What about resistance training? And one of the concepts that I like to share with people is that concept of our minds being very much like the battery in a phone, right? When you wake up first thing in the morning, that battery is fully charged. As soon as you unplug it, you start looking at emails, getting on Facebook, doing all these things on your phone, that battery starts to deplete. And I oftentimes talk to people about their mental energy and how we have only, a specific amount of energy throughout the day. And depending on the amount of tasks and stress that we have during the day, that basically depletes that energy. And so one of the things I say is let's focus on the two things that bring the biggest return on investment, which are nutrition and cardio when it comes to obviously losing weight. And so you tackled first the nutrition and the cardio for the first 3 months. And thankfully you had Jason and Steve there to push you into the workouts. But, prior to working out, so in those 3 months, how much weight did you lose just doing the cardio and the diet?
The first month, I lost 36 pounds in the first month.
The first month. Okay.
The first 90 days, if I remember correctly, it was, I would say, close to, I want to say 75 to 80 pounds.
In 90 days?
90 days. All cardio.
Okay.
And I was itching to do more.
Sure.
To get into weights. I mean, here's the thing. This whole process, during the day, I would be drained energy in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. Talking about the phone and the battery and all that.
Yeah.
Having this extra weight and everything and so on, it was mentally draining. And then now I have more energy. I'm a lot clearer as far as my thinking process. My wife and I talked about this the other night. I get things, sometimes I'm a Scorpio, so it explodes and then I'm fine, next minute, whatever. But the thing is, I'm not upset. I don't get angry as much. I don't get, frustrated anymore. It's just, I have a more clear understanding and clear outlook because of this whole process.
Sure.
I have more drive. I have more energy. I want to be able to do more things with not only myself, but also my family members. One thing I explain to a lot of people during any of we're all busy. The thing is, take at least 1 hour and devote yourself. And that's one thing that Steve and Jason informed me, and you did as well. Take care of your body first. Your body, once you do that, everything else it just falls into place. It's amazing.
Absolutely. So 116 pounds. What's your weight right now again?
What's that?
What are you weighing right now?
227.
227. I think we came up with a weight goal for you of 215, 220, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
What do you feel as far as like going forward? Do you think that you could ever go back to where you were?
I won't allow it.
Okay.
So
the reason I asked this, Michael, is because many people out there, get on diets, lose the weight, but the weight comes back with a vengeance. And that's one of the things I hear often from people is, I'm willing to go through this process. I just don't want to gain it again. Mm-hmm. So what would you say to those people?
Well, if you follow the plan and continue to follow the plan, you won't gain the weight back. Here's the thing. I've been I wouldn't say it's slacking, so to speak. I've been having a couple cheat meals every once in a while. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe two a week. You know, we go out to bowling last night. You know, I had some chicken fingers, but you know what? You get on the next day, you flush your butt out in the gym, whatever the case is, eat clean.
Yeah.
You lose a 1 or 2 pounds easily. Here's this past month, and if you want to wrap yourself, I've been around this same weight for the last month. All right. Haven't lost any, haven't gained any. But the thing is, I've maintained it. It's a lifestyle that I am choosing now.
Right. How hard is that, Michael?
It's not hard at all.
Okay.
I mean, at first I was like, okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. I'm not going to sustain this or whatever. But once you break it down and really understand what goes into your body, food is fuel. That's all it is. I mean, we all crave things. You know, here's the other thing. I used to drink Starbucks like it was a religion. Every day I would have at least one Starbucks Frappuccino. I haven't touched a Frappuccino in 8 months.
Wow.
I'm tired for it. I have no cravings for it.
Yeah.
That's what's great about this whole process.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, once you cut out the starches, which most people, you know, it's interesting because I talk to so many people and they'll say things such as, well, you know, I'll say, you know, what about sweets? And they say, no, you know, I don't eat any sugar. And I go, what does that look like? And they say, no, you know, I never have desserts. And I'll go and ask them, well, what'd you have for dinner last night? And they'll say, well, I had some pasta, or, you know, I had some rice, I had some bread, not knowing, you know, most people don't know that carbs, you know, they basically transform into sugar, right, and glycogen. And so most Americans are addicted to sugar. The fact that you're saying that you no longer crave that sugar is just because you've been able to reset your body, and your body no longer craves it. So that's pretty amazing. You know, I talk to so many people that tell me that, you know, this is just too hard. I like to go out. Do you still go out? Do you still eat out?
Oh yeah, definitely. Here's the thing. When you go out, you look at better options. And I mean, and I have an app on my phone, you know, we all have it. You look at what's the better alternative.
That's good.
Granted, yes, I would love to have, you know, 20 chicken wings. That was I would eat. I don't do that. I would, you know, grilled chicken, toss it in wing sauce.
Yeah.
Here you go. There's my craving right there. I think what it is you crave. And here's the other thing. You talk about carbs. When I have carbs, man, it hits me harder now, and it's a bad feeling.
Yeah.
Now you stay off of the carbs, man. You have a little bit of carbs. It's horrible. It's like magnifies even more, which is crazy. You know. So pasta, don't eat it. You know, I don't have any desire for it. I had pizza, you know, 2 slices of pizza probably about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
After I ate it, I was like, this is horrible. You know, I know it sounds funny.
Yeah.
I
love it. I'm laughing because it's just incredible to see how much you've changed in your, you know, affections for food and you know, now how you actually view things, which I'm sure, you know, 8 months ago, if they put a pizza in front of you, that would have been the most amazing thing ever. But
I would have eaten a whole pie. I mean,
yeah.
That's how it was. So,
Michael, we're almost running out of time here, but I want to ask you 2 final questions.
Uh-huh.
You know, after losing all this weight, have you been back to the doctor to get blood work?
Oh yes.
What did your doctor say?
He was in disbelief for one. You know, it was crazy to think about. I mean, I literally had I was borderline hypertension 2.
Okay.
During this whole process. When I had the blood work done and everything, it was staggering to see that literally I went from, my blood pressure back then was 152/96.
Okay.
That was when I started this whole journey. Mm-hmm. Now I'm at 119/58.
That's crazy.
All normal guidelines of blood pressure.
Were you on any medication?
Lisinopril, which is just blood pressure medicine.
Okay. Are you still on that?
I am. He says that I should have it, but you know what? it's okay. I mean, it's free. It's all the better. It's just a normal process. I think he's healthy as an ox as well, but he's on blood pressure medicine too. I mean, I think we all are, to an extent. But I mean, I went from a size 44 pants. I'm wearing 36s now.
Wow.
I'm able to shop in normal people's stores. It's great.
Sure.
It's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, Michael, this has been amazing. I want to leave everyone with this last question that I have for you. And there's people watching on the other side that are going, "Oh, that's great, but that's him. I can't do this." What would you say to that person that's on the other side, that's on the fence, that is very skeptical about any diet because they've tried it all and nothing's worked? What would you say to that person?
Give it a try. You are more than worth this. Okay, 90 days is all you need to try. Take it in cycles. Break it down into segments. People sit there. I had a goal of 100 pounds, but you know what? Rome wasn't built in one day.
Yeah.
So gotta look at every day is the next step in your journey in life. So do it. Definitely take yourself. You're so worth it. The people, give it a try. I mean, what JT has put together is an amazing process. I was very skeptical, but I jumped on board and I ran with it literally.
Awesome. Well, brother, I can't be any more proud of you. I mean, it's incredible. This whole story is incredible because I didn't even facilitate this thing, which gave me the motivation to actually create a self-guide book that we're starting to work on here soon, where people can just basically pick up the book, get the principles, and do it on their own. Right? They don't need me or any other coach. They can just basically do it on their own and create that support system around them through friends and family and et cetera. But through the principles, just being able to do it on their own. And so thank you for the motivation. Thank you for, your testimony. Honestly, there are days that I wake up and I go, is this really worth it? Should I keep pushing this thing? And, hearing inspiring stories like yours are just motivating for the future of Empty Your Bucket and continuing to move forward with that plan. So thank you so much for your diligence, for your seriousness about this. And man, I admire you so much. I know your family must be incredibly proud of you. And
and then anyone has any questions, I would be glad to help out. And how I am, I would try to answer any questions, with JT as well. So
awesome.
The guy is a man. He's definitely put together a great program. Definitely, join on board.
Awesome. Michael, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for your time, and be in touch.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, buddy. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.